Hey everyone, I'm Alexis the Ego Queen. Love me, I know you do. And joining me, as always, is my good friend and dear trusted companion, Mope the Somnolent.
Hello.
So, first off, Mope, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. It's been a week or two since we've had one of these. I'm pretty excited to play.
Yeah. So, just before we get into this and everything, because you guys know we're going to get into this in just a second, I got asked by a very lovely couple of YouTubers, quite literally, they are a lovely couple, the Warhammer couple, or I think it's I want to make sure I get their name correct and everything. It is the Warhammer couple channel. Yeah, there we go. And they are really lovely people. I've met them at a con almost a year or so ago now, and I fell in love with them instantly. Like, they were amazing. I love their channel. Link is in the description down below. They asked us a few questions, and I thought we would go over this on our weekly Q&A because we kind of do questions all the time, right?
Sounds right to me.
So, the questions we'll be going over as they come along. As they come up.
Also, of course, as always, if anyone has questions, you can hyperlink to Alexis in the chat, and we will answer them.
Mm-hmm. You guys know we're awesome like that. Okay, and let me just make sure I have the questions on the side. There we go. And let's get right into this with a skirmish game on... Let's go to the harder difficulties.
Sure. Are we doing... Yeah, we're doing skirmish.
Yeah. Happy I can finally watch your videos. Wow! Why did I pick that comment to read?
Aw, they just like you.
I know.
They're saying that you're very attractive.
Although I hate that this is casting a really bad shadow on me. It is what it is. Okay. Ooh, the Eternity of... Ugh, why do I have the Eternity of Pestilence? That's a bad name for a ship. This ship needs a new name. Something nice and Slaneshi. So let's go ahead and invite player, and let's grab our favorite little deviant. Hopefully it should work.
We'll see in a moment. I hit join the game.
Remember, sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah, sometimes it likes to be a butt. Let me try inviting you.
Okay.
You are in skirmish, right? Not custom?
You have accepted. I am in skirmish.
Okay, then I don't know why it's not letting us join together.
It always does this. Okay, let's go to... Return to main menu, just so we can get this one. Alexis, Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2 comes out tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, it does?
Yeah. The beta comes out tomorrow. Do you have any plans for playing it? Oh, man, I cannot see the comments. It's going to be difficult. Playing it. I am going to be streaming it like crazy.
I didn't even get a beta invite. I feel left out.
Well, I have the game, but I'm not sure if I have a beta invite, to be honest.
I see how it is, G-dubs. I'm just going to continue to tell everyone about your paint pot and your star gods and the truth.
You're such a crazy person, Mo, but I absolutely love you for it.
I will admit I'm a kook when GW gives me a beta access key.
Alright, I'm going to try inviting you once again. Invite sent. Return to game. Oh, you're in.
Okay. There we go. Alright.
So we can go to elite mode, and this might be the 1500 point, or it might be lower. We'll just have to see.
If it's 1,500, then we should probably both only bring like 1,000 at most.
Everyone who pre-ordered it gets the beta. New
I
ship.
can't remember if I pre-ordered. I don't think I did.
I'm not sure if I pre-ordered it or got it as a gift. I forgot.
To be honest, I'll be busy tomorrow anyway. I have to do stuff all day.
Oof. Alright, so we do have 1,500 points to work with.
Okay, so I'm only gonna take like 900 points worth of ships. Oh wait, it's 750 each.
Okay. So if it's elite, they should have about... Yeah, they should be good for the first game.
No, I think it actually is gonna put them at 1,500, because if you remember, they get twice our points. So in that regard, I think, because we know that they always take under, I'm only gonna take 500 points of ships, and we'll see what happens.
Alright, I'm gonna take that, and this. There we go. I'm gonna take no escorts.
I'm not taking any either.
This game looks interesting. Oh, good. So. While this is loading up really quickly, I'm gonna get us the first... Oh, well, we'll do a battle and then I'll get to the first question. Why is this running like crap right now? Huh. I don't know what was up with my computer really quickly. It was being dumb. So I apologize about that. Alright. I'm gonna take center. And then, which way do you want to head?
I'm thinking that since we're fighting chaos, let's just go down the center at them and get ready for an old broadside fight.
Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna head for this center cloud.
Sounds good to me.
Alright, I'm ready. Let me pester and you go in after.
Okay, I will go to the cloud straight to the side then.
Okay, I'm gonna let out some...
Just show us something to kill.
Some probes.
For the dark.
Okay, here we go. Well, you do another escort-only game. Oh, we should do that. Another just full escorts and nothing else?
We could. Also, Calvin Heyman asked, will you be doing any different fleets besides Imperial Navy?
I'm doing Chaos right now.
Yep.
Oh, and the new game. Actually, yes.
We're unstoppable!
In the new game, I will definitely be starting off as Chaos, but...
Well, yeah, you have to. I mean, you're you.
Yeah, Slaanesh kinda... Well, I don't know. I was gonna say she owns my soul, but in reality, I don't have a soul anymore. I'm just kind of a subsection of her.
I'd still say she owns it. And for the person asking, I am not using OBS. I am using XSplit. Okay, we have our first ships coming in. I'm gonna try to get a broadside in on them as quickly as possible.
Move around the side.
Ooh, there we go. Wow, they're gonna go right through that asteroid field. Ow, that was painful.
Yeah, they're not too smart.
Setting course.
Okay, we're gonna try to swing around. Blast the crap out of them. Do you know what Chaos Fleet these are?
It looks undivided as far as I can tell. I can't tell the coloration. It looks like it might be Red Corsair.
Oh, Red Corsairs? Why Renegades? So
I like Red Corsairs. Remember, the Wolf of Fenris.
Do you think Forge World's price hike will kill the Horus Heresy game or make GW lose the top spot in Wargaming? I'm gonna just answer no to both. It's not gonna kill the game, it's going to hurt it a little bit, but most people in America buy their stuff at events where you get the normal prices. My shields are... My engines are dead on my one ship.
It's also like, Forge World has always been a specialty product. Like,
yeah.
you don't need to buy Forge World to play. So.
Yep.
Get that damage repaired at once!
Okay, we're gonna turn as quickly as possible.
Successful, Master!
I'm gonna turn that one to try to get between you both.
There we go. We got a nice firing arc on this one. Yep, that one's dead. Okay, I'm gonna head back towards the cloud in the center.
And then Scorpion107 asks, what tank or vehicle of 40k would use the Liger Zero Jaeger as in the tabletop? I think he's talking about the Zoid.
He is talking about Zoids.
We're taking heavy damage.
Oh, come on, get out of here before you die. Alright, I got my one ship out before it died.
Of your incompetence.
What? Don't you dare be cowards!
Eternally.
I will kill you before you be cowards.
And then my response to that question is, I would use probably a Tyrannid monster, one of the big ones from
For the ruinous powers.
I don't think a
Yeah.
vehicle would actually accurately represent a Zoid.
Actually, Gargantuan Squiggoth would represent it pretty well.
Yeah, and on top of that, I guess now that I say that, it's irrelevant now with the current edition. There is no difference between a vehicle and a monstrous creature.
Yeah. I'm thinking about making my second ship. Yeah, I'm gonna run my second ship. It's taking heavy damage.
For now.
I'm moving around the side here.
Come on, get out. Yep, got it out in time.
Vengeance will be ours.
Good job. Now they're gonna go after mine. I'll have it turn around.
Oh, Battlefleet Gothic 2 has 18 legions for both sides.
Our strike team slaughtered them.
I will be playing Emperor's
Crumble,
Children.
for chaos comes.
I guess I'll be playing Death Guard. I'm hoping the Eisenstein is in there.
Setting course.
Ew.
Hey, I'm a loyalist at
Gross.
heart.
I know you are, and it's a terrible tragedy. But Death Guard is ew. They're stinky.
Oh no, I'm not talking about those Death Guard. I'm talking about the loyalist Death Guard. There's
Well, they're
two
even
ships left.
worse. They might not be stinky, but they're diluted.
There we go. Bracing for impact. We're getting a ram in. I'm tearing through that ship.
Yeah, we did this one pretty easily. Let's go with less points next game.
Okay.
For the ruinous powers.
Where's the last ship? Oh wow, he's all the way over here.
We have sighted an enemy
There we go.
Thank goodness I have beacons.
Okay, well, that one's all you at this point.
I think it'll last very long.
Charging war
Here, I'm gonna leave. I'm leaving this fight to you.
Okay. Are you sure you want to do that? Your ship could get lost in the warp.
That's fine. I believe in you, Mope.
We return to the warp.
Aw, well thank you.
There we go. And let's zoom in on this one so I can take some questions. Is your streaming software better than OBS? In some ways, yes. Otherwise, no. Do orcs have fleets in Battlefleet Gothic? Yes, they do. Iron within, iron without, iron shake it all about.
I actually really do like the Iron Warriors, but it's because of Bram McNeil's book about they're the only Chaos Legion that was allowed to win.
Yeah. And then they teamed up with Loyalists during the Beast Arises series.
Yeah, I haven't read The Beast Arises. I've been told that
It's lackluster at best, meh at worst. Actually, it's pretty garbage at worst.
I mean, that sounds about the same as Space Marine novels to me.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do one of these quick questions that was asked as part of a thingamajig. I don't. What is it called when you get asked questions and then you have to pass that list on to somebody else? I always forget what that's actually called. It's like a chain letter or something like that. Oh my god, I can't remember.
I'm not sure. I have no idea what the term you're looking for is.
Oh, what do I get for my 5th upgrade for this ship? I guess belt armor? And I should probably repair you. And I guess I'll get more cultists. Do I want more cultists or do I want demonic influence? What do I want?
I actually recently switched my crews over from what they were before. I switched it over. Now I have all full demonic influence because I'm sick of them breaking.
Yeah, that's good reasoning.
There are certain fleets, like particularly like the Eldar fleet, will do some shenanigans that just makes your stuff run away, and it's really frustrating.
Yeah, I can get that. I can get that. Okay, so the first question, and this one I had to ask Mope to get a picture from her. So the first question is: show your finest work. What model or project are you most proud of? Now, my favorite model is myself, because I do modeling, and I'm going to be a giant jerk in this. I'm just kidding. I will show you my proudest model, like the thing that I'm super proud of, that I painted myself, and even after I got my entire knight household repainted, I purposely left this one aside. So I'm going to make myself gigantic for a second. Whee! Boop! So this is my proudest achievement. Well, not proudest achievement, my favorite model that I've ever done. It is a Knight Crusader, I believe, with Thunderstrike Gauntlet and whichever weapon I feel like putting here. All the weapons are switchable, but right now she has the Inferno Cannon, and it is of House Pride. It is an Imperial Knight, and it is glorious. She has a heavy flamethrower as well as a heavy stubber. Oh, and the twin autocannons on top, which I forget what they're called. But yeah, I love this thing. Now, I asked Mope, and she showed me something that kind of blows mine out of the water. This is Mope's. Mope's is a demon princess of Slaanesh. So
I always refer to her as the Demon Prince because the kind of people you deal with in a game store, if they want to use the title Demon Prince or whatnot, that's fine, but people can get really weird with rules about that because the entry in the codex is Demon Prince.
Well, Prince, Princess, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I feel the same way, but on that note, that Demon Princess is a model that I wanted to do for years, and I'd seen so many people do their own versions of Demon Princesses, and like, it just took me a while until I found a model that I thought was appropriate, because I'd seen people make them out of really dumb stuff, and I finally found a real specialty company. And the original model, she was a 54mm. She stands, I believe, just under 3 or 4 inches tall. She's an extremely tall Demon Princess. Both my Demon Princes are. And I actually converted that model a lot. Most of her hair I green stuffed because the original model had a ponytail. And then I added the wings. The wings are from a Chaos Manticore. I didn't buy a Chaos Manticore and take them out. I actually was able to find someone selling Manticore wings online, so I got them that way. And then I made the base mostly with cork and a few skulls. But the reason I'm particularly proud of it is because it took me so long to do, and I was so iffy about making Demon Princes for my Chaos army for a while. What I really didn't want is I didn't want the plastic kit they currently put out where you can get a generic Demon Prince. I don't know. Maybe it's just because
that model, to be honest.
I don't hate it, and I'm glad that there is a customizable Demon Prince out for people, but at the same time, I really did not want that Demon Prince. I much prefer the look of this one, and then I'm so happy with how the freehanding turned out on it. She also had tiles. I love to do checker patterns. They go with my army. The other model I was considering to put up here was my Steed of Slaanesh with a banner, and this is a huge, awesome banner with a beautiful checkered pattern on it. But it was a bit political, so I decided not to. Which it's mostly just for memes, but
Yeah, true, true.
But no, honestly, like I'm really happy with how this model turned out. I made her to go more with my demon army, so I gave her a more purple color because the way I tend to do it is like I like to go pink for my Chaos Marines and then purple for the demons.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense. Makes sense.
Right, because I don't know, I think pink demons would look a little weird. Pink flesh is a little bit more just, it's, I don't know, I would prefer the pink to be on the armor than the skin.
No, but what well, you actually already said what inspired yours. Mine
Oh, go ahead.
Mine was, it's pretty self-explanatory. This kit actually came out roughly 3 years ago, I want to say. So it's kind of slightly significant, I guess. Oh, I think it's just neat, and I wanted to do this. So
I love the coloration on it. I think the basing on it was fantastic too.
yeah, it's crushing a defiler, because screw you, Chaos. Yeah.
You know, actually mine, if I'd showed you other pictures, there is a dying Dark Angel trying to crawl away from her in the back.
Why would you be killing a Dark Angel? That's just rude. They are loyal subjects of the Imperium.
I mean, all loyal subjects of the Imperium are deluded, and for the safety of us, they kind of have to go. I mean, I would be happy to live in harmony with the Imperium. I don't think the Imperium feels the same way.
That is true. Alright, so we got a few more questions, comments, and things like that, so let's get back to this.
Do you think we will ever get a demon princess in canon? I actually think there have been a few. I know that there was one in Horus Heresy.
There's also one in a couple of the sister novels. Let's see. I saw a couple of comments that I wanted to read. Thoughts on the Emperor Children? I love them. I actually really like Iron Warriors. What's not to love about Chaos Legion devoted to logic? I mean, you're right.
I love the Emperor's Children, but I think they need to stop crying. Fulgrim gave them anything. They need to get over that he's gone now.
Yeah.
And then the Iron Warriors. I like the Iron Warriors a lot, but the big flaw that I have with them, like their character trait I don't like, is like they're super bitter. They are the most bitter legion.
To the person referencing the bras on demon princes, demons, even including demon princes, are not actually physical, so what may look or do absolutely nothing as armor, it's just their demonic hide that'll stop things from hurting them.
Yeah, that's the one time where I do get to have
Yep.
revealing armor and it still works. But actually, if you look on my Twitter, you can see that my other demon prince is a boy, and he is heavily armored. He even has a gigantic shield with a skin plate on it.
Oh, that's just gross.
I mean, it's what you gotta do to please Slaanesh. Living artwork is the best kind.
Did you hear the story about a keeper of secrets tricking an Eldar princess into loving it and then betraying her by stealing a key to the Webway Gate in their craft world? That is awesome. I'm not gonna lie, that sounds great.
I believe that was in the 4th edition Demon Codex.
Latara Saren, Demon Prince of Khorne. Latara Saren is way beyond a demon prince. She's more like a demonic ship captain. Like, demon princes are cool. Ship captains are cooler. Just saying.
I mean, what can you do?
So form doesn't matter to them. Form doesn't matter to demons at all. In fact, demons are only formed by what you perceive them as. And their forms are ever shifting. Alright. Mope, do you want to be brazing?
Be brazing?
One ship. Oh, we need 2 ships.
Okay, let's just do 2 ships then.
Alright, I'm gonna bring my Desolator class ship and my Hellbringer.
I'm bringing my pair of Acherons. Because
Nice.
I love lance spam.
Alright, we got 2 ships each. That's 4 ships in the harder difficulties at 400 points each, just about. Holy cow.
I'm not at 400 points, I'm way under that. I'm at like 320.
Oh my god. Dumb stuff. And doing dumb stuff is one of my favorite hobbies. So yeah, if you feel up to it, no pressure, it would help out quite a bit, especially after the expensive car. Did I tell you what happened with my car, Mope?
You told me that something went off with it. It was your... and then we were talking about how you also have to replace your tires too, like...
Yeah, so what wound up happening is I'm driving my car, and I hear this noise, and then my car decides to go and shake, and I'm like, uh-oh, what's going on? So, me being me, I immediately freak out, because I have no idea what's wrong with cars. I know to put blinker fluid in them. That's about it.
Coordinates.
And so I just fired missiles completely randomly. So I drive it to the shop, and I knew that I needed tires and needed an alignment. I didn't expect my tire to be like ready to explode. So I had to get 4 new tires, balanced. I threw in an oil change and a few other things because I kind of needed them. But it cost me like $450 in total. It was ridiculous. Ugh, that sucked so much.
Cars are such a gigantic expense.
They really are.
We have sighted an enemy ship.
Just gonna fire once again.
I also know that like they evaluate the fact that people like me and you don't know what we're talking about.
Oh god,
so they rip
yes.
us off. It's the same thing that you get when you go to like a computer store, but not quite as bad because we actually have some laws protecting us.
Cruising speed
Yeah,
set.
wow, they just tore that ship apart.
Yeah, they did. Wow, they took a lot of escort.
I got an idea. This is dumb.
What's your idea? Wow, Alexis, you do have a big enough ship to do it. They are little elves.
Run, little elves, run.
We'll follow your command. For now.
I'm gonna sit here in a cloud.
Retros activated. Tremble, for chaos comes.
Oh, I missed it, but damn, that was some good damage.
Let the galaxy burn.
Did you see that? I got 2 of them at least.
Yeah, you did. You really did really good there. That was kind of savage.
Executing high energy turn.
Let's get these torpedoes to hit.
We're unstoppable.
Got him again. God, do I love ramming ships.
I'm having fun just sitting back here, shooting away from my safe little class.
Forward to the slaughter.
Aw, you stole my kill with a ram.
Damn right I stole your kill.
Setting course.
Oh, they're destroying my ships though.
Your orders.
The person saying can't wait on 2019, but it's the year of Slanesh, like, yeah, we've been saying that for a while.
Oh, wow, they actually obliterated my ship.
We have sighted an enemy
Uh-oh. Oh, this is not good. Mope, you're gonna be on your own for a little bit.
We'll see how I do.
Adjusting rotation.
But I do have to pop cogitators then to
Okay.
get this one.
You're fine, you're fine. Oh, this is risky.
Return to
Gosh
normal
darn,
function.
dodgy little elves, they got away.
Cruising speed set.
Oh, they could just outmaneuver me. And they keep staying behind me.
Really hard when they do that.
Mope, I'm sorry.
Visuals.
I have to leave. Oh, I'm not
Okay,
even gonna get the
Alexis.
choice. Remember me.
Our flagship
I will.
It's been torn apart.
That's why I'm ramming.
I love you, Mope. God, I love this game.
This game is a lot of fun.
Granted,
Oh gosh,
I
they're
should...
starting
I probably should not have rammed as much as I did, but it's just too much fun.
Well, Eldar are so
Paper thin.
fragile. Yeah, it's actually a good strategy.
Oh, the game is lagging like crazy though.
Is it for you?
OBS is lagging a bit. Not OBS, XSplit. I don't get what is going on with it. I need to get a new graphics card, I think. This one's just not keeping up.
I can understand that. Because I'm in a 1060 right now. You said you're in a 750.
Yeah.
I don't know, though. I played this game back on my old video card, and that was only a 550, and it ran fine. The reason I upgraded was to play Dark Souls.
Yeah. I'm just
Even
wondering
then,
what's going on with this in total.
I think the 750 should be fine, because my 550 even could play Dark Souls, it just lagged kind of bad.
Well, I think it's actually something to do with XSplit. Maybe I need to get a different version of it, maybe update it a little bit. Because it is seriously lagging like crazy. What's funny is if I click out of the game, it's working fine. But in the game, it is not working. Here, let's move this over here and see if that makes a difference.
Shoot, they knocked out my shields on my damaged boat.
Oh, that sucks.
Not targeting it, though. So smart for me, or smart on them. And he's running.
I did not know I could zoom out this much. And with that, that is a win. Good game.
It was kind of intense. I'm very confident with those two ships, though. The Acheron is my favorite. It brings so many lance batteries to...
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, isn't it?
It brings as many lances to bear as the capital ship, so yeah. Or as the battle cruiser.
That's insane.
It's just a lance boat. That's what it does.
Hey. Alright, let's get through the next question.
So form doesn't matter to them, really. We kind of already answered that one, but yes. Form does not matter to demons. They take on the form that will be most effective for that time, based on your perception. And then someone asked, Calvin asked, will you be leading your fellow knife ears into battle in the new Battlefleet?
No, I hate Eldar so much.
Really? I love elves. They taste amazing.
Oh, here's a good one. Here's a good one. So this comes from the list of questions we need to answer.
Okay.
Funniest wargaming moments. The stories we still tell. And I hate to say it, but I don't think OBS is going to like cooperate with me. So I think we might need to not do as much Battlefleet. And I do apologize to the people that enjoy this for Battlefleet, but this is mostly a Q&A anyway. And Battlefleet right now is just not really working. Okay, so funniest wargaming moments.
Would you like to start?
Alright, so I was at a convention one time, and if you guys know me, especially know me from my videos, which I'm assuming if you're here, you know me damn well, you know that I talk with my hands, and I talk quite a bit with my hands because I'm a New Yorker, and I'm showing that off right now that I do that quite a lot. That all being said, I remember one time, me and Dave were talking, Dave from Mini Wargaming, we were talking, at a convention, and we were like getting into it, you know, like actually going back and forth and having some serious fun. And I was doing this, and he's just like, you know, if we recorded this and took out all the actual dialogue, it would be hilarious. Like, we could put beatboxing to this. It was a really funny moment.
Oh, wow. That is kind of funny.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Well, I guess mine would be back in 5th edition when I was playing the Dawn of War game type. The reason I bring that up is because the Dawn of War let you start with only 2 units on the table at that time. And I am again referring to the deployment style Dawn of War, not the video games.
Yeah.
And then everything else walks on turn 1. If you played 5th edition, you all know this. But my point is, so what I did is I took, and I was playing Imperial Guard then, because I used to be a loyalist. I fell to chaos. I was not born in chaos. I took a platoon command squad, and I stuck it as far forward as I could. And then as soon as turn 1 started, I had it run straight at the enemy. They were playing Space Wolves, by the way. And the Space Wolf player brings his army on and brings them in all around to make sure that they can shoot this unit. And he's asking me, what are you doing with this unit? What is going on here? What are you trying to do with this unit? Why are you rushing them forward? And he's wondering, and I keep telling him, no, it's just a command squad. Platoon command squad, 5 guys. So when we're doing that, or when he's doing that, he deploys his entire army in reaction to that 1 unit. And then on his turn 1, he shoots them. And they die. And he looks at me and he goes, so what was the point of that unit? And I respond that it had literally no point. And then I brought my army in around the way he deployed his army. And yeah, the unit genuinely did nothing. And I kind of psyched him out and made him deploy his entire army in reaction to it.
That's amazing, to be honest.
I was pretty happy with it. I don't actually remember who won that game because it was years ago, and I'm not really a play-to-win player, so that's not really a concern. But it was a really fun game either way.
No, I love things like that. I absolutely love them. I think that those kinds of moments are amazing. There's a moment like that coming in tomorrow's battle report, and I really want to talk about it because it was an absurd amount of saves that I made in 1 turn, and when you see it, you will hear the emotions in just the atmosphere of that gaming table. Like, you could just hear how, not pissed, because we were both, like, laughing about it, and it was just like, really? It was an amazing moment. It was good. It was good. Another good moment was I wasn't in this game. I was not in this game. But my buddy was playing against my other buddy back in actually 5th edition, and he just got a defiler. Like, it was so cool to him back in the day, and he fired with the defiler. And it went and scattered back. The template scattered back, hit the defiler, and hit Abaddon, killing Abaddon, and blowing up, no, dealing a wound to Abaddon, so he had 1 wound left, and then he blew up from the penetrating hit, and then his explosion killed Abaddon. It was amazing.
That's fantastic, because explosions used to, like, never do anything, especially against Space Marine armies.
Yeah.
Well, actually, back then, I played Imperial Guard, so I didn't get to have that. Like, Space Marine players like you all got to joke that explosions did nothing, whereas if I lost a transport, I'd probably lose the unit, too.
Yep. Here's a question from Dave. Who is Alexis's co-host, and does she have her own channel? Seems to be very 40k, 30k knowledgeable. Yeah, she does.
I do. It's called Sixfold Foundry. You can find it under my name, which is Riley Church on YouTube. I have a lot of painting stuff up on there right now. I've been meaning to put out more videos, but it's been kind of difficult lately because I had to move my studio around, and then I got busy with a few other things in life. But I'm hoping to start putting out videos again over the winter break.
Nice. It'll be awesome. And you can finally finish that damn Demon Prince.
I've been working on it, but Zul'Gurub comes out next week, and if any of you understand what I just said there, then I salute you.
Yeah, you and your damn wows.
I love World of Warcraft, but only the original.
Will you ever get Wargamergirl on for one of these? Of course. I'm actually trying to get a podcast together in the future for me, Scruffers, Mope, and Wargamergirl. So we can all just sit back and chat about, well, doing a podcast. So 40K, 30K, and all sorts of tabletop news. And just, you know, sit back and shoot the shit. Get some questions, have some fun, drink some chocolate milk, or hot chocolate, or coffee. Wait, Mope, do you drink coffee?
No, I don't.
Huh.
I don't drink a lot of things. I drink, like, water, orange juice, soda, and vodka.
Vodka, I can agree with.
Oh, I like rum, too.
On a scale of 1 to 40,000, how unnecessary do you think the Dark Eldar are? To be honest, if the Dark Eldar were just written out of the lore, I don't think anybody would really care. Like,
what?
And the reason I say that is because they don't affect anything, aside from maybe Slaanesh. But even then, Slaanesh doesn't even care about them.
I mean, they are tasty. They bring us food.
But most of them are cloned and they don't have good souls.
That is true.
So
I like the Dark Eldar a lot, but I also love Slaanesh a lot. So yeah. I'm very, very biased in that direction.
Like, to be honest, I think the Ynnari are going to be their replacement, kind of like the Primaris are going to be the Space Marine replacement. And that's going to be the go-to. Like, the Ynnari are everything the Dark Eldar should be, because they're actually kind of cool. And the Dark Eldar are just edgelords from, like, the early 80s that are tripping on acid. And they're just really stupid, to be honest.
What? I love the Dark Eldar. I think they're so much fun. All they want to do is have fun, Alexis.
All they want to do is torture, and it's just like, well, if we torture people, Slaanesh doesn't come after us for some reason. And I still haven't figured that one out yet.
Okay, the reason I really love the Dark Eldar is because that's what Eldari society was supposed to be like before Slaanesh came into existence.
Yeah, but then that's I don't know.
They are the natural state of Eldar. That's my point. If you don't have you don't have the path system to be a weird Eldar equivalent of like a Puritan or what do they call them? An Amish Eldar, or like one of the frickin'
Amish Eldar.
The guys who ride dragons, Exodite.
Exodites.
Yeah, if you're not one of them, and you're a normal Eldar, and you're not some weird religious nut who believes in, like, the path system, then you end up being a Dark Eldar.
Yeah, these things happen. Also, for anybody wondering why we're not playing the game, for some reason, XSplit is being rather stupid, and every time I click into the game, it is just lagging like crazy, and I still have to figure this one out. I'm going to be talking to my tech priest a little bit after the stream to fix this, so I do apologize for anybody that wanted to actually watch some Battlefleet Gothic, but I can promise you this, tomorrow I more than likely will be streaming a ton of BFG2, so yeah. Okay.
Did you alt-tab out of it earlier?
I have alt-tabbed out of it a few times, but usually that didn't do anything.
Okay, then never mind. I don't actually know anything about tech.
How big is your to-paint backlog? Be honest. Okay, so I want to show you guys something. We're gonna make me gigantic. It's that big, plus, I'm gonna take you guys on a studio tour really quickly. I know, isn't my studio amazing? Look. That right there, Victor got for me for Christmas. This, and all of this, don't look at my food. That dresser over there, and all of this stuff is to paint. Okay. Wait. There we go. Damn it, now it's too loud. There we go. I'm not just an average female streamer, where it's just that somebody's going to get that joke and they're going to giggle. Fight me in BFG. Okay. Join my Discord. We'll set up a game. How big is your to paint backlog? You have an entire, like, 4,000 point Blood Angel army you still have to paint, don't you?
Okay, well that depends. Do we consider my paint backlog all of my unpainted models, or do we consider out all of the unpainted models that I intend to paint that I have listed to paint? Because right now I'm finishing your demon, and then I'm going to paint the rest of my list for when we go to Adepticon, and then after that I'll prioritize my Blood Angels. But in reality, I don't really see demand to paint all of your models. I'm really, really strongly against the people who like to meme about how you have unpainted models and you shouldn't buy more models until you have all your models painted. I think that's a little insane. We all want to play.
Yeah.
So in that regard, I wouldn't say that my backlog is actually that big because most of my unpainted models, I don't have a time set for me to get to them.
Ooh.
I only have one fully painted army as it is, so...
So you have a ton of stuff like me to paint.
I do have a ton of stuff like you to paint. Like, I have the majority of my Chaos army. Like, I have at least 80 cultists to paint, probably closer to 100. I have probably around 50 or 60 demonettes to paint. It's quite a bit, not mentioning vehicles.
Yeah.
But in reality, I'm just concerned about getting my list for Adepticon done and getting your demon done.
Fair enough. How would you feel if Dark Eldar were replaced with Crone Worlders, Chaos Eldar? I personally think Crone Worlders, they're not the same, and we need more Crone Worlder stories, because I would really, really, really like that.
I would be ecstatic if they replaced Dark Eldar with Crone World. If Dark Eldar went the way of the Inari, and they brought in Crone Worlders, I would be so happy that I probably wouldn't say something mean about GW for almost a day.
That would be impressive. Okay, can you play the beta if you didn't pre-order? No, I think you have to pre-order it. Opinion on Cult Mechanicus. I really like the Cult Mechanicus. What about it? Like, what aspect of it? Overall, I think it's really cool.
I think it's an interesting part of the fluff, but I have to stand against them because I don't agree with Servants of the Star Gods.
They just want you in the forearms of the Emperor. My cult is better.
Your cult has a lot of Star Gods that it enjoys.
Let's see. I'm just getting started to collect miniatures and buy a no fear box. Wow, that is really tough to say. Any suggestions to a newbie like me? By the way, greetings from Colombia. That depends. Are you going Chaos Space Marines or, well, Death Guard, or are you going Primaris Marines? If you're going Primaris Marines, actually one of the best places to do it if you want to just expand both armies is either buy another No Fear or go straight into the Primaris Space Marines or the Death Guard. If you want to go with Death Guard, I would suggest getting the Plague Marines first, and then you already have an HQ. You already have a floated Blight Drone, so you actually have a good start for a Death Guard army. So I'd probably get another Blight Drone and another Death Guard squad. So you have 3 squads of Death Guard Marines, Plague Marines, thank you, that's what they're called. And then from there, I would work your way to get Rhinos and then some proper big things like the Plague Burst Crawler and things of that nature. If you're going with Primaris Space Marines, on the other hand, you have the No Fear starter set. I would then probably grab a probably another Intercessor squad, get 10 of them, split them up into 3 5-man units. From there, I would probably go and get some Hellblasters, as they are the best things ever. And get yourself a Chapter Ancient, so this way you can actually see how efficient Plague Marines, how efficient Hellblasters can be. So really, it just depends on which side you want to go with. If you actually want some army builds, I would heavily suggest that you hit me up in my Discord or shoot me up on Facebook or Twitter with this question, and I can properly help you there with list building and idea building and essentially a shopping list.
The only thing I would add to that is, on top of the strategy of it, make sure you get the models that you think look cool, because no matter how good your army is, you're not going to have fun if you don't like how they look.
Yeah, also get the army you want to play. Okay. Have you seen the gameplay and what do you think so far? I think it's amazing. It looks very similar and it looks a lot of fun.
That's one thing that's an issue with a lot of sequels, I feel like. I feel like a lot of sequels change too much.
I know this one is staying pretty much the same, which I like. They're just adding a ton to it.
That's good.
Mope, I want to have painted armies, but my hands are shaky enough. Here, if you want to read that question, please do.
Yeah. I want to have painted armies, but my hands shake enough to be medically concerning, and I don't want to ruin my models with a bad paint job. Any advice? And I actually have a lot of advice for that. My first advice would be that you should adopt a paint or a wash dominant style. And what I mean by that is because most of us actually adopt a wash dominant style where we base coat wash and then we highlight on top of that. What I would suggest for you is to try to do the best paint job for the model or as an undercoat. Then I wouldn't do an overcoat after the wash. I would let the wash be your overcoat. The only other thing I would do on top of it is maybe dry brush some areas, because you don't need a lot of hand control to dry brush. It's really, it's a technique you can look up. There are tons of people who do videos on it, and it's a really simple technique to make it so that the paint only goes on the raised areas. And the other thing that can do is it can dull down the wash a bit, because washes tend to come out really shiny. The last thing I would suggest, because this is a bit more of an expensive option, but it's probably your best option, is to get an airbrush, because they're magical, and I would learn how to use it. And I'm guessing that you could still get out some pretty effective armies with an airbrush. And the last thing I'll say is that always remember, the key thing is it doesn't matter how amazing of a painter you are, but if your paint is too thick, it is going to look awful. So, like any good painter, the strongest advice I'll give you is make sure your paints are very thin.
Too thin
on top
coats.
of it. Yeah, definitely too thin coat. Or in the case for you, I would suggest, again, just because there are people actually out there where you can look up tutorials where there are people who will paint a model entirely with wash. And the reason wash would be useful is because wash, it'll seep into the recesses, so you don't have to do a lot of fine detailing with it.
I can
it's kind of
actually
like an
show
auto
you an
paint.
example of this. 1 second.
Yeah, do so, please.
Well, not really these, but let me go ahead and grab it. Okay.
And then, while she's doing that, I'll go ahead and say to you, Cal, I believe Alexis has already had a battle on stream with Viggy.
Okay, so this model is painted almost entirely with washes. Just so you guys know. The one thing that I will tell you, let me just make this bigger, is make sure you get all the recesses, because there is a lot that washes do miss. But for the most part, this was entirely washed to paint.
The other thing to remember with washes is you probably are going to want to prime with a white if you're going for an all-wash paint job.
Okay, so now we can move on. What was the next question?
They asked if you and Viggy have ever had a lovers battle, which I said that you have, and they asked what armies he plays, which I'll go ahead and say he plays Adeptus Mechanicus.
His Mechanicus army is actually right here. I have it with me. This was the addition that we added to his army. We have a star collecting down here. I bought him, I think, 10 more units on top of it, so he upped his army to about 4,000 points. And yeah, ironically, there is actually a funny story about this. So, I have a Primaris Space Marine army by the name of the Lost and Modern. They are a Primaris Space Marine army dedicated to frontline reinforcement, and thus their name. And what they do is, well, that I'm not getting into the lore. Anyway, they're a black and red army with a silver highlight on everything. It looks actually pretty nice when you look at it from a distance. I'm not the best painter in the world, but whatever. It's my travel army. It has only ever seen a game twice in 1 year. And both of those games have been in Reykjavik, Iceland, in the exact same table at Nexus. So that is the only time that we have ever played against and with each other in 40K. It was really funny.
I think he does seem to be much more into the RPGs.
He is a good tactician, though.
He's a really smart guy, so I'm not surprised.
Okay, let's see. What other questions did we get? Equipment lessons. Specifically the aesthetics of the Mechanicus spaceships, and tell your nice friend that what she said about the Mechanicus and the Star God is heretical. Cease. Mope, you're being heretical again.
I do that a lot. Like, listen, I used to be just as into the Emperor as the rest of you. But then I found out they're lying to us all and chaos is the true answer.
And this is why I sit on the boundaries as the Inquisition. And I tell you that Mope is also lying, and that chaos is icky and turns you gross nasty unless you follow the path of Slaanesh. In which case, we'll burn you because you look better than us.
I'm not gonna lie, that Slaanesh is definitely the best chaos god to turn to. Which is why I'm concerned about you and your Death Guard.
Well, they're just loyalists. Honestly, when I picked my Legion, I rolled a d20 to play 30k, because I didn't really care about any of them at the time. Kind of wish I went with Blood Angels, because they look the coolest. But anyway, about the Mechanicus, I like them. If you know anything about my Imperial fleet, it is all Mechanicus. They're really efficient, really decent flyers, really good for ramming, which I personally love. But aesthetically, they kind of just look like the old school buses. So they have a lot to look like. They're more efficient than aesthetically pleasing, which honestly describes the Mechanicus perfectly.
I don't know if I agree with that. I like how their ships are all boxy with lots of edges and flat surfaces.
Mm-hmm. What is your favorite leak from the Valdis campaign book? Oh, I love the part where the sisters are... Oh, wait.
Oh.
Yep.
That looks like everything thus far.
Okay, perfect. So now we can actually go over to this and get another question in from here. When you started the hobby, what game edition did you play in and what models did you collect? Ooh, we get to hear stories about Loyalist Mope.
It was a different time. I was naive.
Yeah, but Mope. We have giant robots.
I started back in 5th edition. It had just rolled around into 5th edition. I actually bought my first models when it was still 4th edition. But I didn't actually play until 5th edition. My first army was, because I'm generic, it was Space Marines. And then it was I played for a year before I switched over to playing Imperial Guard. I have a thing with humanity. I really like humans, so I went for them. And then it was pretty much that. I was very loyal to the Imperium because I loved humanity. It wasn't until I really actually started thinking about it that I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. They're lying to us. Chaos is the people who are going to help, are the ones who are going to help humanity.
Yeah, let's go with that. Oops, sorry. For me, I was in the tail end of 4th edition, early 5th edition. I played about 4 games of 4th edition, and then the editions changed almost immediately, which was good for me. I started. Actually, there was actually a lovely story to this. So back in high school, I had a neckbeard friend whose name is not important, but we'll just call him Justin. And Justin was a big guy, like both big and a big American. Like if you needed a stereotypical American, it was him, like flag-waving American. Anyway, we went over to Europe for a school field trip. It was part of a huge program. My dad paid for the whole thing for me. It was one of the best gifts that he ever gave me. And while over there, he was talking about 40k, and at this point, I was reading the books. I wasn't into 40k yet. Honestly, I thought the books were shit. They were really, really hard to read through, and I still think they're really hard to read through because this so...
I think that...
Well, this was strictly Marine books.
Now that I can understand, I think there are diamonds in the rough, but like, yeah, my first books I tried to read were Ultramarine books, and they were not.
No, they were garbage. Like any books centered around just the Space Marines that isn't centered around Nathaniel Garrow is garbage. Unless it's centered around like a character that's important, the book is just terrible. But anyway, I was struggling to read them, and we're walking around London, and we go into this game store, and this game store is your standard nerdy dwelling, except it smelt worse because it was in Britain. And Britain really smelt bad for some reason. I don't know what it was, but the trip, it smelt bad. Anywho. We walked down the steps to get into this dungeon store. Like, I am not kidding. This was the ultimate nerd store because it was literally in a basement. I saw the Battle from a Crag, the first starter set I ever bought, and me and my friend split it. And I gotta say, I bought the Space Marines out of it, and I painted them horribly. Like, absolutely horribly, with a red and black and silver paint scheme. This is why I painted my Primaris Space Marines, being my newest Marines, in the same color scheme, but way better. But anyway, I bought that, we split it, and I started playing that, and I bought my next purchase after that starter set, which only comes with a Tactical Marine Squad and some Terminators, and is a terrible set, was a Land Raider. And I got a Land Raider Redeemer. And I was so happy with it. And then I bought a Rhino, and then I bought an actual Tactical Marine Squad, and I went from there. And I was hooked on the game because I am hooked on strategy games. I'm not one for fast-paced first-person shooters, though I do play Overwatch, and I do enjoy that game. But I'm more of the sit-back and strategy type. And honestly, I gotta say, I don't regret that purchase. I loved it. Like, I really loved it. Okay. So what other questions did we get? Big booby Tau girls, yes or no? I would say yes. I mean, if GW really wants to sell Tau, give him tits.
Okay, I actually have to side against it, which is odd because I'm a Slaanesh demon and I actually play titty demons. But I always thought it was so interesting that the only difference between Tau genders was the shape of the slit on their forehead. I think it's really cool that they that gender is so secondary in their society.
Well, that and longer hair and whatever.
Do they have longer hair?
Yeah, they do actually have long hair, which is red, which is really weird.
I just think it's super alien and super strange, and I think it was something that made Tau really unique, or it still does, because they still are like that mostly. I think the fact that gender is so secondary to them is really, really cool. Well, it's really unique.
It is, but if GW really wanted to sell it, like if they really, really wanted to push the sales, they would make them more lewd. Lewd stuff sells.
Lewd stuff does sell. Even if it is a little creepy.
Yeah, it always is. And it's always like fetishy. It's just, ugh. Anyway. So more like RTSs. I love RTSs. I remember I beat every mission in Stronghold Legends without losing a single person. It took me 1,000,000 hours, but I did it. Okay? If you had $1 million and could buy and you could only buy a single model, Forge World included, what would that be? If you had $1 million and could only buy a single model, that's a weird question. I guess I would go for the most expensive. Right?
That's a really, like, that's the first thing you think, right? But there's a little more to that because some models can get valued, devalued, and I guess the first thing I would say is if I had $1 million, I would make sure that it was some crystal demon level paint job.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
I would make sure that that thing was converted, and like I would make them convert it. I'd be like, if I can do it, then I'm not paying money for it. You better make me something that I can't do myself, or I'm not going to pay. Like, it would be the most epic base thing and the most epic paint job ever. It would be totally custom posed and a totally custom done model. And I guess I have to select an actual model for it to have been built from. So it would definitely be something huge.
I would get the Tau Manta.
Oh, really? That would be a good one. I'm thinking...
I would have it crashing, okay? This still counts as a single model, and I am counting this as a single model. With Space Marine Vanguard veterans, like, all assaulting it, so it's just one scenery piece of this thing burning as it's hitting the ground, and all of the suits trying to jump desperately out of the back, because the suits do come with it. And all the vanguards just cutting them down as they leave. So
I could see that.
They're like destroying this thing as it's crashing into the ground. It would be epic.
I think I would go, because I want something posable. I would go with a Warlord Titan, and I would have it fully converted to Chaos and posed. And I wouldn't go with the current one they're selling from GW. Do you remember when they had an actual Mars pattern? The freaking amazing one that they had in the comic? That is the Warlord Titan I would have. It would be bright pink and covered in Slaneshi decor, including skins of the Fallen. And I would just have it, like, trudging up some sweet, like, rock face or something. It, like, had one gun out and one gun towards the ground.
What about stepping on another Warlord?
Oh my gosh, yes, if that's allowed, it would definitely be stepping on a loyalist warlord.
It is technically one model.
Then yes, it would definitely be stepping on another. No, it would be stepping on an Emperor class Titan on its face. Because guess what? I'm gonna come topple your Emperor.
I love it. I love it. Was that London Warhammer store Darksphere or Orc's Nest? I have no idea. Sorry. I mean, eventually when I go back to London, I'll check. Why the Eldar hate? I don't hate the Eldar. I really like the Asunari. I think they're actually pretty cool. It's just I don't like the Dukari. They're just silly. Like, I just think that they're silly.
See, they're the kind of silly that I like. They're not a fun silly. They're a dark silly, and I love it.
Okay, and let's see. What do you think about MGTOW? Nope, I'm not getting into that. What about XCOM? Well, XCOM, give it to you. I kind of do want to play the game. I'm not gonna lie. The stream is chaos biased. It gives corner. I'm not gonna read that last part. Anyway, here's a question from the actual list. If you could update any model into plastic or a newer cast, what would it be and why? Dante or the Sanguinor?
Oh, really? I love the Dante model. I think I've talked to you about this before, but he's supposed to be the oldest human alive.
Yeah.
Well, not the oldest human alive, the oldest Space Marine alive, because I think there are humans that are older than him, but he's the oldest Space Marine alive. And I just want that model to stay old and ugly forever to represent that. Like, we're gonna have these beautiful new Primaris Assault Marines, and then there's little Dante in his, like, 1982 cast.
You know what the best part is when they make him a Primaris Space Marine, everybody's gonna flip out, including him.
I really don't want it to happen. You're right. It's totally going to happen, but I really don't want it to happen. I want to use that old Dante model forever. Like, my Dante... Well, actually, I have several Dantes now because Sanguinius sent me a beautifully painted one.
I actually have a Dante as well.
But Alexis, I love that old, ugly Dante. I think
it's so good.
I love that model so much.
Doom Rider. I would update Doom Rider.
Oh my gosh, that would be fantastic. You know, it's really funny. If this had been 2 weeks ago, you know what I would have told you?
Marinus Kalgar?
Nope, I would have said that I want a Noise Marine update with the guitar again.
Yep, and then they released that. Oh my god, he's great.
That actually happened, so I can order that model. But no, now I would have to say if I could update any one model. That's a really...
Oh, update the Warlord into the better one.
I could, but see, the issue is I still wouldn't be able to get a Warlord. I'm not willing to put that much money down on a 40k model.
True. I mean, that's like a down payment on a car.
No, that seriously is a down payment on a car, and if I'm going there, like, I'll open up a stock account and start going that way.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna do that anyway, but still.
Yeah. But if I could update, oh my gosh, this is a really difficult. I just don't want to pick the wrong model and like realize there's a better opportunity. But since it's a hypothetical question, I don't have to worry about that. I guess let's go ahead. Let's take the current Demonettes and let's keep them at the same quality of model, but let's make them look like the Juan Diaz Demonettes again.
I just wish those weren't copyrighted.
I know, right?
Yeah, like GW lost them when they lost a ton of copyright.
It's really sad.
Here's the next question on the list. Why do you participate in the hobby? Because it's fun. I just enjoy it.
I've always loved strategy games. I still play a lot of strategy games, but I also like to hang out with people and talk to people. I also like the hands-on about it, and the fact that the thing that really keeps me coming back to 40k, which is the big reason why I never got into War Machine, is that I can convert my army to look like whatever I want.
Yep.
I freaking love showing up with the most unique, totally custom, beautifully painted. And I don't know, I just don't feel other games offer that level of customization. Even with how restrictive GW's policies can be, it's still so much more open to that than other games. Especially, like, I could never get into, like, historical wargaming.
Oh my god, they're so boring.
Then you could paint something wrong, and it's like, what?
You paint something wrong, it's a different unit then. It's like, oops.
Right, it's nuts.
Okay, let's get through this next question. What do you want in the future of this hobby? Broad or specific? So let's do broad first. People to stop bitching and moaning on Facebook about the hobby. That's what I want in the future. People to actually, you know, welcome people to the hobby. And not just complain about every 2 things that everybody does. I always think that that's annoying.
Yeah, I kind of can see where you're coming from, because you see those people posting in the Facebook groups, because I've already mentioned it, but when I see it, it makes me sick when people are like, you know, you can paint your models before you buy new ones. And it's like, listen, stop it. And then people who like shame unpainted armies just drive me crazy.
Yep. Oh, and just just really quick, I gotta interject. Tyranids don't look like Zerg. Zerg look like Tyranids. Tyranids predate Zerg.
I used to love Blizzard dearly, and Alexis is correct. Everything from StarCraft and Warcraft is ripped off from Warhammer.
Yep. But yeah, the community, the online community specifically, they're the ones that aren't playing the game. They're not buying anything. They're just sitting there pissing and moaning. I want a community without them.
I would wish, now that we mention it, this is the big pet peeve of mine when people talk about 40k fluff and get into 40k arguments, or even rules arguments. And I've seen it happen on multiple websites where people who have never played the game give their 2 cents about how the game should be played, or that a list is bad, or something like that. And it's like, you've never even played the game. And maybe this person is playing that list because they like to play that list. Like, an example that drives me crazy is my Slaanesh army is always going to remain mono Slaanesh. If I have to choose between the army being good or the army being Slaanesh, it's not a contest. I choose Slaanesh. That's the entire point of the army.
Yeah.
I say that because I included that preempt one time when I posted my list on a website that I won't mention because it's a bad website. And someone literally, the second response to it was them telling me to ditch Slaanesh because it's bad. And it's like, I don't think you understand what I just said.
The point of a themed list, like...
Right.
Well, it's like, I know intercessors aren't as good as Space Marine Scouts. I'm not going to bash somebody for wanting to take intercessors. They're cool looking.
Right, and that's what I honestly feel it comes down to. I don't like that attitude of people. I understand wanting to win. I understand the competitive aspect. You're a competitive player. I used to be a very competitive player. But I also have a competitive army and a non-competitive army. And, like, I really think that it's important to get the models you want to get. Like, I don't think you should buy a model because it's good. I think you should buy a model because you like the way that model looks, or you like the way it plays. And when I say like the way it plays, I don't mean just because it's good. I mean because you like what it does or the unique ability it has or something.
All right, and the final question on our list. Who are you? Tell us about your channel. And why we should subscribe. All right, I'll start with this one really cool. Really quickly, really cool. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm tired. I don't sleep. Anyway, why you should subscribe to my channel is because when I make a video, I put passion behind it. I want to show you why I love the hobby as much as I do. I don't do a video without wanting to do it. I don't just make a video because, well, hey, here's a hot button issue. I make a video because I have a drive to make that video, and I want to show you what that topic means to me. Like when I do a battle report, I want to show you it because I'm excited about the game. I want to show you the cool paint jobs. I want to show you the tactics that I used. And when I do my rants and rambles, I want to sit here and express to you that this is why I love the game. I love sitting, I love building, I love painting. Well, I don't really love painting, I will admit to that one. But I love playing the game, and I love the lore to this game, even though it isn't consistent, and it's terribly when it comes to canon, and everybody kind of, just kind of goes with it. But why you should subscribe is because, well, why not subscribe to somebody who's passionate about the game instead of just somebody who reacts? And if you feel like that's not a good enough reason to subscribe, then please tell me what you would like to see on the channel, and I will do my best to show you. I'll do my best to, well, push forward and make my channel better. Yeah, that's it.
Well, I am Mope. My channel is under my actual name, Riley Church. I am fearless. And then I made the channel for painting. I love to paint. I consider myself a pretty talented painter. And I would like to help other people be talented painters. I don't want to complain at you to paint your army. I want to show you how to paint your army. That's genuinely my purpose. I want my opponent to have a beautifully painted army. And I don't think the right way to go about that is to complain about it or tell them that their army isn't painted as good as mine or something like that. I think that's really mean and really rude. So the only thing I can really do is go and show you all how to paint. And that's really my goal, is I just want to show people all the things that I know about painting so that we both can have a prettier army on the tabletop. And then if you subscribe to me, then gosh, that would help me start up my channel. And then I would make more videos, which means that there would be more painting tutorials out there, which means ideally we all become better painters.
And I know I watch your painting tutorials. I still can't do it, but I still watch.
I appreciate it. But I genuinely, like, I've already I don't know. I've painted, right now it's mostly Slaneshi demons painted up on there, because that's the army I mostly play. But if there's a model you want to see painted, or you want to know how to paint a certain thing, you can find me in Alexis's server. I'm one of her admins. I have my own Discord that you can find the links to on my YouTube channel. You can literally send me a message, just say, hey, I would like to see this model painted. And I'll try to get it up on there for you. I'll try to demonstrate how I would paint that model. And if you like the way I paint that model, then I hope you take away from it.
Yeah. And with that, I think we're going to end this, because that was beautiful, and there's nothing that could top that. So, Mope, would you like to say anything in closing?
I hope you all have very beautiful models, and I will ever endeavor to help show you how to get them to be even prettier. And if any of you ever need any advice, I'm sure you can find me. I'm not hard, well, I am hard to get a hold of, but I'm not hard to find, and I will try to help you.
Anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining us for another stream of BFG and Chill. Granted, Battlefleet Gothic was being a little bit iffy with XSplit for some reason. Now, I do have to nominate 2 channels to do this, because that's part of this thingy of spreading the love in the Warhammer community. So I'm going to nominate Wargamergirl, because she is an absolute doll and I absolutely love her. As well as, if we got one of these. Anyway, I would like to recommend, I'd like to ask that Wargamergirl give this a shot, as well as Remlays from 40k Theories, because both of those people bring a really, really, really just something unique to the community of Warhammer 40k. So with that, I'm going to get going. As always, I'm Alexis the Go Queen. I love you guys. Bye.